To be a genius, cognition from a neurological perspective. Here's Aliko Dangote. He started a construction company now worth billions of dollars. Now here's Ronan Farrow. He started college at age 11 and was accepted into Yale Law School at 16. Which one is smarter? Which one is a genius? A lot of people admire and envy geniuses, but there's some confusion on what intelligence means and how it works. In fact, I asked some people, how does intelligence work? And I got some pretty interesting answers.
It's something that
It doesn't work itself. You make it.
like you're born with it. I think it's something you learn and develop over
To
time.
begin, we must understand what qualifies as intelligence. Dr. Robert Sternberg, professor of human development at Cornell University, defines intelligence as the abilities to learn from experience, adapt to new situations, understand and handle abstract concepts, and use knowledge to manipulate one's environment. Let's break this down and look at three important aspects of intelligence: speed, adaptation, and age. There are three main types of speed. There's processing speed, which measures how quickly your mind works. There's perceptual speed, which is how fast you comprehend numbers, letters, and objects. Finally, there's neurological speed, which is how fast your neurons react. All three of these types of speed are tied to myelin sheaths. Wait, let's back up a bit. A neuron cell body is called its soma. From the soma is a long string called an axon. Surrounding the axon is the part we're interested in, the myelin sheath. Neurons with myelin sheaths have gaps between them, called the nodes of Ranvier. Of course, there are many other parts of a neuron, but the myelin sheath and its nodes are the parts that control speed. As a message travels from the soma down the axon, the myelin sheaths and the nodes between them allow for faster electronic transmission. Think of them as a fatty coating that makes it easier for the message to move, much like the plastic coating on wires. Instead of a message having to go down an entire axon, all it has to do is jump from node to node. Another important part of intelligence is adaptation. Here, curiosity comes into play. People who seek out novel activities actually change their brain. When learning new subjects, dopamine, a neurotransmitter related to pleasure, is released. The release of dopamine increases motivation and encourages neural connections. The dopamine primes neurons for neurogenesis, which is the creation of new neurons, to take place. In turn, neurogenesis causes higher brain plasticity. Plasticity is how a brain adapts and takes in new information, and the more plasticity a brain has, the more intelligent it can be. So be curious. The cerebral cortex is the part of the brain that is also associated with adaptation, specifically with decision making. It covers the rest of your brain like a cap. It is involved in memory, thought, consciousness, and language. Of course, intelligence is not just restrained to one part of the brain, and how intelligent you are changes as you age. Researchers at the Montreal Neurological Institute found that a thicker cerebral cortex, even by 1/3 of a penny, can significantly increase intelligence. This may seem intuitive, more brain equals more intellect, but it goes a bit further than that. Smarter children start off with a thinner cerebral cortex, which grows thicker until the wise old age of 12. In comparison, the cerebral cortex of average children starts off thick but peaks around age 8. Does that mean that you or your child is stuck with whatever thickness your brain already has? Of course not. Younger children in particular were able to raise their IQ scores by 1 standard deviation simply by working harder in school and learning new subjects. This ties back to the idea of novelty. While there are an incalculable number of factors that go into intelligence, there are some broad themes that we can decipher. The brain you are predisposed with has a lot to do with your intelligence. Age and development matters, but so does your own curiosity, your own willingness to go out and learn more about the world. So appreciate the brain you have. It does a lot, but be curious enough to make it better